Something is happening. Something big. And the people who know aren't talking about it on the news. They're buying gold. Not talking about buying gold. Not thinking about buying gold. Actually buying it. Central banks are buying gold at the fastest pace in 50 years. China is buying gold. Russia is buying gold. India is buying gold. Your neighbor is buying gold from Costco and it's selling out in hours. Gold just hit $2,100 per ounce. The highest price in history. And if you think this is just about inflation or interest rates, you're missing the real story. This is about trust, or more accurately, the complete breakdown of it. Our story begins, not today, but in 1971. August 5th, 10th. President Richard Nixon announces on television that the United States will no longer convert dollars to gold. This was called closing the gold window. For decades, the dollar was backed by gold. $35 could be exchanged for 1 ounce of gold. This gave the dollar real value. But by 1971, America had printed too many dollars. Other countries started demanding their gold back. America didn't have enough gold to honor the promises. So Nixon just canceled the deal. The dollar became a fiat currency, backed by nothing except faith in the U.S. government. For 50 years, this worked. The dollar remained the world's reserve currency. Global trade happened in dollars. Oil was priced in dollars. Countries held dollars as reserves. This gave America enormous power. We could print money and export inflation to the rest of the world. Other countries had to accept it because they needed dollars to trade. This was called dollar hegemony, and it was the foundation of American economic dominance. But something changed. It started slowly, then accelerated. In 2022, the United States froze $300 billion of Russian foreign reserves. Overnight, Putin woke up one morning and half of Russia's savings were gone. Not stolen exactly. Frozen. America used the dollar as a weapon. The message to every other country was clear. If you upset America, your money isn't safe. Doesn't matter if it's your money. Doesn't matter if you earned it. If it's in dollars or held in Western banks, America can take it. This terrified every non-Western country. China saw this. India saw this. Saudi Arabia saw this. The Gulf states saw this. If America can freeze Russia's money today, they can freeze our money tomorrow. The dollar stopped being neutral money. It became a political tool. And when money becomes political, people look for alternatives. They look for something that can't be frozen, can't be seized, can't be weaponized. They look for gold. The numbers tell the story. Central banks bought 1,000 tons of gold in 2022. That's the most since 1967. They bought 1,000 tons again in 2023. Another 1,000 tons in 2024. This is not normal. For 20 years, central banks were selling gold. They thought it was a barbarous relic, a useless metal from a bygone era. Now they're buying like it's going out of style, or more accurately, buying like dollars are going out of style. China is leading the charge. The People's Bank of China has been buying gold every single month for 2 years straight. They now hold over 2,000 tons officially. But that's just what they admit. Analysts believe the real number is closer to 4,000 tons. China is trying to internationalize the yuan, make it a reserve currency to compete with the dollar. But nobody trusts Chinese currency. The Communist Party controls everything. They can devalue the yuan whenever they want. So China is backing the yuan with gold, trying to make it credible, trying to give people a reason to use it instead of dollars. Russia went even further. After the sanctions, Putin shifted reserves heavily into gold. Russia now holds over 2,300 tons, fifth largest in the world. More importantly, Russia started accepting payment for oil and gas in currencies other than dollars. Rupees from India, yuan from China, even Bitcoin for a brief period. This breaks the petrodollar system. For 50 years, oil was priced in dollars. This created artificial demand for dollars. If the oil trade moves away from dollars, demand drops. If demand drops, value drops. Russia is actively trying to destroy dollar dominance, and they're using gold as the foundation of an alternative system. India is quietly doing the same thing. The Reserve Bank of India bought gold aggressively, now holds over 800 tons. India has a long cultural history with gold. Indians buy physical gold for weddings and festivals. But now the central bank is stockpiling it too. India is hedging. They trade with America. But they also trade with Russia and China. They don't want to pick sides. Gold lets them stay neutral. It's nobody's currency. Nobody's weapon. Just a metal that holds value regardless of politics. Even smaller countries are buying Poland, Singapore, Turkey, Czech Republic. Countries that never cared about gold before are now accumulating it. The pattern is clear. Countries that don't trust a dollar-dominated system are buying gold as insurance. They're not dumping dollars entirely. That would be too risky, but they're diversifying. Reducing dollar exposure, increasing gold holdings. This is called Now, let's talk about regular people. This isn't just central banks. Costco started selling gold bars in 2023. 1-ounce bars for around $2,000. They sold out within hours. Every restock sells out in hours. Costco is now selling over $100 million per month in gold. That's not wealthy investors. That's regular middle-class Americans buying physical gold at a warehouse store. This has never happened before. Why? Fear. Fear of inflation. Fear of dollar devaluation. Fear of bank failures. After Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic collapsed in 2023, people realized bank deposits aren't as safe as they thought. Gold can't go bankrupt. Gold can't be bailed out. Gold just exists. It's tangible. You can hold it, hide it, pass it down. It doesn't require trust in any institution. For people who've lost trust in institutions, that's appealing. The crypto crowd is even buying gold now. That's remarkable. Bitcoin was supposed to be digital gold, the ultimate store of value. Harder to confiscate than gold. Easier to transport, but after FTX collapsed and billions disappeared, even crypto enthusiasts are diversifying into physical gold. They realize that code can have bugs. Exchanges can be fraudulent. Governments can ban crypto. But gold is just gold. It's been money for 5,000 years. It'll be money after the current system collapses. So, here's where we are. Gold just hit an all-time high above $2,100 per ounce. Central banks are buying record amounts. Russia and China are stockpiling it. Costco is selling out. Regular people are converting savings into physical metal, and the mainstream financial media is barely covering it. They're talking about stock markets and interest rates. They're missing the bigger story. This is a vote of no confidence. A vote against the dollar system, against fiat currency, against the idea that governments can print unlimited money without consequences. Gold doesn't pay dividends, doesn't pay interest, just sits there being shiny. In a healthy economy, nobody wants it. They want stocks and real estate and businesses that grow. When people rush to gold, it means they don't believe in growth anymore. They believe in preservation, survival, getting through whatever comes next. What comes next? That's the question driving gold demand. Best case scenario? This is just countries diversify away from excessive dollar holdings. The dollar remains important, but not dominant. We move to a multipolar currency system. Gold serves as neutral money between competing powers. Markets adjust. Life continues. Worst case scenario, the dollar loses reserve currency status. Global trade fragments. Countries create regional currency blocks. China and Russia use gold-backed yuan. Europe uses euros. America uses dollars. Trade between blocks requires converting to gold or some new neutral settlement system. This would be the biggest economic shift since World War II. American living standards would decline sharply. The ability to print money and export inflation would disappear. We'd have to actually earn what we spend. The middle scenario, and most likely, is a slow decline. The dollar remains reserve currency, but its dominance erodes over decades. Gold becomes more important in central bank reserves. The price rises steadily as the dollar slowly devalues. This is death by 1,000 cuts. Not a collapse, but a long grinding decline. Your dollars slowly buy less. Your savings slowly lose purchasing power. Gold holders preserve wealth. Non-gold holders get quietly impoverished. Is this guaranteed to happen? No. America could reform. Stop weaponizing the dollar. Stop printing unlimited money. Rebuild trust in the system. But that would require political discipline that neither party has shown. It would require accepting lower living standards now to preserve the system long term. Politicians don't do that. They kick the can. Print more. Spend more. Promise more. Until one day, the can can't be kicked anymore. So what should you do? That's not financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. But understand what's happening. Gold isn't going up because of inflation alone. It's going up because the world's most powerful countries are losing faith in the dollar system. When central banks that have inside information start buying something, pay attention. They know things you don't. They see things you don't. And they're preparing for something. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe the dollar system holds together. Maybe this is just a temporary panic. But what if they're right? What if the system that's existed your entire life is ending? What if your savings in dollars become worth half as much because the rest of the world stops accepting them? Insurance doesn't feel necessary until you need it. And by then, it's too late. Gold at $2,100 per ounce might seem expensive, but measured against a collapsing currency system, it might be cheap. The question isn't whether gold is expensive. The question is whether your dollars are becoming worthless. And judging by what central banks are doing with their dollars, they seem to think the answer is yes. If you made it this far, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you buying gold or staying in dollars? And subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.